What's up, YouTube? I'm the Car131, and this video I'm going to be comparing the Winchester Silvertip against the Federal Punch 22 long rifle. So these are both seemingly 22 long rifle loads, actually purpose made for self-defense, from what I've seen. Now, I don't want this video to become a debate as to whether or not you should use 22 for self-defense. This is simply a gel test comparing these two, so that way, if you have someone, someone you know chooses to use 22 for self-defense, maybe one of these might be the best option they could get in that category. Now, to be completely clear, I've actually already done this video once. I didn't like how it turned out, so we're going to be redoing it. I will be about 7 yards away, shooting into a old but still usable block of 10% ballistics gel from Clear Ballistics. I have a chronograph set up. Hopefully, it'll actually record some velocities. It's been kind of finicky, so we'll find out. I'm going to be using my Taurus TX22, which is a 4.1-inch barrel. I'm also going to be shooting 5 rounds of each. The reason why will become apparent pretty quickly once, I'm guessing, once I shoot the Winchester Silvertip, which is coming up first. Backed off to about 7 yards. Once again, I have 5 rounds of the Winchester Silvertip. Now, this is a segmenting 22 hollow point, so if it's going fast enough, keyword, key phrase, I guess, it will have 4 petals that flake off and create separate wound tracks and has a base that will keep on penetrating. So we will see how it does out of my 4-inch barrel TX22. Error, it didn't record velocity. Didn't record velocity. Looks like 1047. No velocity. No velocity. Didn't record velocity. So hopefully from that slow-mo shot, you should have seen why I said it has to be going fast enough for it to flake off. I'll get you guys a better video here in a second, but first wound track here. Pop third wound track back there. And the last wound track. I shot 5. Sorry, yeah, I shot 5. I seem to have missed one, but I got 4 of them in the gel. And from the looks of it, this one right here, which you should be seeing a video of the wound track right now, it had looked like 2 flake off. This one right here looks like also had 2 flake off. Both of those exited the block, unfortunately. Now these 2 in the back, one of them had a single one flake off. Sorry, 2. The other one had none flake off. Now, penetration on them, the 2 that stayed in the gel are both right at 7 3/4 inches roughly. So very short of what I'm looking for. One of them, however, I should be pointed out, did penetrate 13.5 inches before it popped out. It's interesting. It's not very consistent. 2 of them stayed very close. One of them penetrated way farther than it was supposed to. 5 rounds of the 29 grain Federal Punch, Taurus TX22. See if I can get velocities this time. 1146. No velocity. No velocity. No velocity. 1145. All right, so I managed to keep 4 of the Federal Punch in the block. One of them unfortunately popped out again, but I got 4 of them stay in the block. All of them, from the looks of it, are maybe 9.5 at the lowest to 12 inches at the farthest of the 4 that stayed in there. So that pretty much demonstrates pretty similar to what I got in my very first test. As I said, I've already done this video twice. The first time didn't turn out well, so I'm redoing it. Results are pretty similar. The Winchester Silvertip, for one, it does not really, at handgun velocities, 4-inch barrel, it doesn't seem to go fast enough to reliably flake those petals off. As you saw, of the ones that I still have in here, one of them is mushroomed out, but it doesn't look like it broke any of the petals off. One of them looks like it broke one off at the very end, like an inch from where it stopped. The other two did break a couple off, but the thing is, this is where my other issue with this is, these are only handgun rounds. These are rimfire rounds. There's 22. Those petals that did break off were what, 3.5 inches in? And considering the number that I look for, especially for handgun or rimfire rounds, is 12 to 18 inches of penetration, these petals that flaked off just wouldn't penetrate deep enough to really do any kind of serious damage. In enough time, would it maybe cause someone to bleed out? Sure. Would it also be hours after they've probably already killed you? Most likely. So, the results of this video, again, similar to my first one, of these 2 rounds, the Federal Punch, in my opinion, definitely is the pretty clear winner. It is much more consistent. 4 of the rounds were within like an inch and a half, were like an inch and a half penetration. Blanked on the word, but the Winchester Silvertip had 2 that got like 7 to 8. One that came out here like 13 and punched out. One of them that came out at like around 7 or 8, I'd say also. So, uh, much more not as consistent performance. Now, I don't know what the foot pounds of energy are going to look like after I compare my jank ass chronograph, like 11:45 and 47 for the punch versus 10:30, something like that for the silver tip. So I don't know which one's going to have more actual foot pounds of energy. I can pretty confidently say, however, the difference is going to be so minimal with 22s, it's going to make no difference realistically. So of the 2, the Federal Punch is the clear winner. Now, last thing I want to go over, however, is this really significantly any better than any of the other rounds that I tested right up here in my R22 Hollow Points Worth It handgun edition? I'm going to say no. So if you go watch that video, which I encourage you to, very good video, and I need views. Uh, they all pretty much, for the most part, on average, penetrated between, similar to this actually, like between 8 and 10 inches, maybe 11 on the extreme. None of them got to that 12-inch minimum that I'm looking for. Just none of them in general, except for 1 or 2 like weird random ones. Uh, they all of them, the Mini Mag Hollow Point, the CCI Velocitor, and the Federal Punch, they all got basically extremely similar penetration numbers. So for the most part, I think I've shot enough 22s into ballistics gel for me to claim that I'm not a expert. However, you can take what information you've seen in my videos and come to your own conclusion. I think my conclusion is, for the most part, it almost doesn't matter what type of 22 you use for self-defense. For the most part, they're all mostly going to penetrate roughly the same amount. And as I said, 20, 30, maybe even 40 extra foot-pounds of energy between different kinds. You're talking probably less than 100 foot-pounds of energy regardless. So it's probably not going to be enough to make a difference in a self-defense encounter. So the Federal Punch is definitely the clear winner in this video. So if you enjoyed the video, you found it fun, entertaining, informative, if you want to tell me how stupid I am because I did something wrong, I encourage you to do it in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this in the future, subscribe. I'm the Car 131, signing off. Oh, God.